Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today I thought we would have a little bit of fun and talk about fragrance. So if you're new to my channel, you guys, I am a complete beauty skincare junkie, and that also falls into the fact that I love fragrance. So I have been a fragrance junkie from a very young age, and that has not stopped. So today what I thought I would do is share with you my favorite niche fragrances. I also have a couple new ones in my collection that I wanted to share with you. So if you are interested in hearing more about my favorite niche fragrances and why I love them so much, then let's go ahead and dive in. And I want to give a quick little caveat about this video, and that is that I'm not super great at describing fragrances. I kind of just know what I like, and I will try to do the best I can. I also am going to probably butcher some of the pronunciations. I'm going to try really hard not to, but if I do, I don't mean to offend anybody. And then also, these are pretty much a lot of things that are gifted to me from my family and friends that know that I am a fragrance junkie. I pretty much get a fragrance for any sort of special occasion because they know that I am obsessed. The joke is what weird and difficult perfume are you gonna make us track down? It tends to be the joke in my family. So you guys, let's go ahead and dive in. And you guys, I'm gonna start with one of my favorite niche brands pretty much out there, and that is Maison Francis Kurkdjian. So that was sort of a new discovery. I want to say about 3 years ago, I kind of got onto Maison Francis Kurkdjian perfumes and love the whole entire line. So I have already used a whole bottle of Grand Soir, so I don't have that to show you, but if you like an amber scent, that is a standout in the line. Grand Soir is just a really rich, beautiful amber. It's got some sweetness to it. It's one that I would always get compliments when I would wear that. So that one is a standout if you are an amber person. And then I had shared this before, but of course I had the Maison Francis Kurkdjian, the Baccarat Rouge 540. And you guys, that was one of those interesting ones where I had the original formula, which I did sell, but then I had picked up the X Straight. Now, the X Straight, to me, the reason why I sold the other one is that I would put on the Baccarat 540 and it would just kind of disappear on my skin. I could not smell it at all, but then it would be funny. That is one that has projection all around you, where I couldn't smell it on myself, but like I would get tons of like people, ooh, what are you wearing? And I just thought it was so funny. So then I thought, well, I really love it, but I'm gonna try the X Straight version of it. And this one again is just a super beautiful fragrance, you guys. It is something kind of unique, meaning like you may or may not like it. It's definitely one that I tell people to not blind buy. When I went in to originally purchase a bottle of Maison Francis Kurkdjian, I was going in for a freshy fragrance, and I came out with the Baccarat 540 because I just fell in love with it. So this is a kind of woody floral amber, and it just has a little bit of sweetness in this. And I really, really love it. I love the original, but I also love this X Straight. This one is just a little bit more close to the skin. So you guys, this one has Egyptian jasmine, Grand Florum, saffron, Moroccan bitter almond, cedar, musky wood, and ambergris. So this is just a beautiful fragrance. And again, either one of them are amazing. I just found that that original one would just sort of poof on my skin, but that others could smell it around me, and I kind of wanted to have something I could smell on myself and enjoy as well. It's pretty magical. So I love that one. Now, another newer one to my collection that I love is the Gentle Fluidity Gold. You guys, this is sort of like a almost daily wearable Baccarat 540. Not that you can't wear that every day, but I tend to find that to be for more special occasions. And this is just gorgeous. It has a sweetness to it. And this is sort of like your delicious daily wear fragrance. So to me, this is rich. It has got a vanilla amber note to it. It's really super creamy. And the interesting thing is they launched this with, it had silver and then it had gold. And this has juniper, nutmeg, coriander, musk, amber, woods, and vanilla. So you're going to see a theme here, you guys. I tend to like fragrances that have vanilla in them. And this one is just gorgeous. It is sweet, it is delicious, but it's got a fresh and lightness to it, so it's not overly sugary or overly sweet. This is just a super cozy, wearable fragrance. I find it to be just gorgeous. It's very much aligned with what I kind of think of when I wear my Rado Velvet Haze. You guys, this is my second bottle of Rado Velvet Haze. And again, it kind of has that kind of velvet kind of coziness, a little bit of sweetness in it. And so this would kind of be what I would put those two in the same category. Very wearable. This is another one that I tend to get compliments on when I'm wearing it. Just a really beautiful fragrance. And then one that I'm laughing about, but I had kind of dived into the Maison Kurkdjian Ouds, and I tried one that was just a complete beast on me, and that was the Oud Silk Mood. And the silk, you guys, it was just so overpowering. I felt like it turned me into an angry bee. I couldn't wait to take a shower. It was one of those where it was just kind of like, oof, I did not care for it on myself. But then I decided to try the Oud Satin Mood, and this one is next on my list, you guys. This is so gorgeous. Again, this is going to be kind of like a jammy, sweet rose oud fragrance, and it is just gorgeous. The key with these ouds is like a little bit goes a long way. You do not need to, like one spray will do you, but you will smell so good. Again, this one I have fallen in love with, and I just thought I would mention that if you're someone who likes those kind of rose oud fragrances, this is going to be just gorgeous. Again, the fragrance when you first smell it has this really pungent kind of jammy sweetness to it, but it dries down kind of powdery into just a gorgeous, warm, enveloping fragrance. Now, this is definitely something that I would think about wearing during the more cool in winter months. I don't know how well this would do in a more kind of humid and hot. I feel like this would be a little bit too much personally for myself. So Oud Satin Mood is another good one. Now, one other thing, Maison Kurkdjian makes beautiful kind of freshy fragrances. So again, that's just a line that I feel like you can find something that you would love automatically. So if you haven't gone there, you guys, they're definitely amazing fragrances. Pretty much love everything from that whole line. Okay, I already mentioned this Rado Velvet Haze, but you guys, it is rare that I buy a second bottle of perfume, but this was one of these that just spoke to me. So this is an ambrette, coconut water, patchouli, cocoa absolute, cotton musks, and wild musks. You guys, it is just what you consider velvet. You guys, this was love at first sniff. I just literally had to buy the bottle on the spot, which is something that I don't normally do because perfume can turn on you. If you've ever had that experience where you loved it in store, bought it, and then came home and like, oh my gosh, I have to take a shower. This one I knew pretty much right away, and it did not disappoint. I just fell in love with it. Again, this is going to have kind of a gourmand fragrance to this, you guys. I am a foodie, so I kind of like those kind of gourmandy, vanilla, foodie fragrances. this is kind of described as sweet coconut milk, kind of laced with a little bit of chocolate on here. And again, it just kind of reminds me of like wearing cashmere or silk or one of these, like the velvet. The name of it really describes it. It is just a gorgeous scent. And I really, honestly, this one I have not gotten sick of. And you guys, I have lots of different perfumes and I still reach for this all the time. So if I were to say I have a signature scent, Velvet Haze would probably be it. Another one that I fell in love with, and I know I've already spoke about this on my channel, and this is from MIMO Paris. And this is the La La Bella. And you guys, this one was a subscriber, Jenny, who told me about it. And you guys, if you like Velvet Haze, I think you're going to love La La Bella. So either one of these would be appropriate if you are a fan of Velvet Haze. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So this is another one, you guys, that is going to be love at first sniff. And you know how some perfumes you kind of have to like fall in love with them over a series of days or a series of trying them. This is not the case with this MIMO Paris La La Bella. Another one that's gorgeous. This is also a compliment getter, and again, it's not offensive. This is one, again, like I would describe Velvet Haze, where when I'm wearing it, it just smells good. It's not overpowering. And I tend to get that kind of question like, ooh, you just smell good. What are you wearing? Not the, oh my God, your perfume is so loud. This is going to be something that you could wear to the office. Ah, it's so good. So this one, again, you guys, has coconut, orchid, rose, jasmine, absolute, Indonesian patchouli, rock rose, vanilla, tobacco, frankincense, labdanum, resin. So it is just a gorgeous kind of fragrance. It's going to give you a burst of patchouli, and you guys, not that hippie kind of patchouli, this kind of like gorgeous opening, very flowery. It almost has a little bit of powderiness to it. You guys, this one just makes me smile. It makes me happy. And I don't know about you guys, but fragrance kind of makes me a little bit high, like high on life, but it'll give me that kind of like, oh my gosh, like a lift. It totally lifts my spirits and just can change the path of my day. So this one, again, is when I'm wanting to give myself a little bit of burst of happiness, I'm gonna reach for La La Bella. This one is so beautiful. I'm so happy to have this in my collection, and so many people, you guys, anybody who has tried this, they have fallen in love with this as well. And again, I think that it is that coconut. There's a little bit of coconut in both of these kind of fragrances. So it kind of gives you a little bit of understated sweetness, but there's enough floral in them to make them not kind of syrupy sweet. Okay, let's dive into vanilla fragrances. As you'll see, pretty much all of the fragrances I've already talked about have a little layer of vanilla in them. That's just something that I like. I kind of like that warmth. Again, I'm kind of a foodie. I like that gourmand kind of fragrance. Now, I picked up, this is a new one, and this is the Serge Lutens. This is the Un Bois Vanille, and I was calling this one of the best adult vanillas out here. This is Black Vanilla Absolute, licorice, sandalwood, coconut milk, beeswax, caramelized benzoin, bitter almond, gaiac wood, and tonka bean. So you guys, this has a bunch of everything I love as kind of someone who loves gourmand fragrances. I just love this. This one almost smells like hot buttered rum to me. And it has a little bit of a boozy quality to it, not overly sweet. This is definitely toned down, but it just is one of those that I just fell in love with because that woodiness in here kind of grounds the vanilla. So it's not super syrupy, sweet. And again, you guys, I even like some of those fragrances. So this is just something that I find is just a really nice hot buttered vanilla rum yumminess. I would definitely go and smell this. The dry down on this is incredible. So I'm so excited to have this in my collection. I love it. Now, when I was smelling this guy and falling in love with it, I also fell in love with the Van Cleef and Arpels. This is the Orchid Vanille, and again, apologize if I am not saying the pronunciation correctly. Oh, you guys, this is an amazing scent. So in love with this. So literally, you guys, they were out of stock of this one when I was at the perfume house, but I had fallen in love with this and I'd taken home both samples. And what I will tell you is the longevity on this beautiful fragrance is not the best, okay? So this one you're going to fall in love with, and then it is going to kind of dissipate within a couple hours, but it is so good and so delicious that I feel like it's worth mentioning because it is a gorgeous scent. The notes in this beautiful one are going to be mandarin orange, bitter almond, dark chocolate, Bulgarian rose, violet, vanilla pod, cedar, tonka, and white musk. So you guys, this is just a beautiful blended fragrance here. So of course it's got that base of vanilla in it, but it also has this floral notes from the Bulgarian rose and the orchid. And I think that's where there's this beautifulness in this fragrance. You guys, I was laughing. It reminded me of a vanilla cocoa latte, like that. It has a little bit of, when it talks about the dark chocolate, to me it was sort of just a layer of cocoa, so it's not so super rich. Some of those tonka kind of chocolatey kind of fragrances, they smell good, but they can be almost overpowering with the chocolate notes. But this one just sort of dried down as a light cocoa. So to me, again, it was kind of reminding me of a kind of vanilla cocoa latte. It is just a mouth-watering composition of notes, and it just smells so good. The longevity of this guy did not stick around on me, but it did stick around on my clothes. So I laughed because I had sprayed a little bit on my jacket, and I could still smell it on my jacket. It was just like on my personal body, and it could be my own chemistry. It just sort of poofed and went away. But you guys, this one is a definite go try it out smell. It is gorgeous. And even with the fact that it does not have the longest longevity, this is the type that I wouldn't mind just giving a little touch up and squirting throughout the day. That's how pretty it is. It is just definitely worth getting a sample. Now, another vanilla that I don't quite have in my collection yet, but I did kind of get a sneak preview that I think it might be coming to me for Christmas, and that is from the House of Sillage. And you guys, that is the fragrance Benevolence. I fell in love with that fragrance when I was in New York, and we did that whole video on the lineup of the signature scents from the House of Sillage, and I just fell in love with that one. Again, I think it's because it's got that vanilla base. It's also a little bit, has some sweetness to it, but it's got almond oil, bergamot, which is going to give it a little bit of freshness, orange blossom, and jasmine. And you guys, that fragrance is just gorgeous. And of course, the packaging is amazing in that cupcake bottle with the Swarovski crystals. Kind of in love with it. So I think I might be getting that one for Christmas. As I said, I usually am gifted fragrances, and this one I was using my husband's iPad, and it had his kind of, you know, Gmail notifications and stuff on there, and it just, something popped up. And I happened to notice that it might have been a purchase of that. So I'm so excited. Okay, so that's kind of a secret, but I'm so excited. So I will be sure to do a whole video on that once I'm actually given that fragrance. Okay, last but not least is a new one in my repertoire that I'm so in love with. And again, this is going to be more of a gourmand fragrance. This is from the Maison Dior line. So you guys, this is sort of what they consider their Privé line from Dior, and this is something that you can only get at like the Dior boutiques or specialty stores. This you can find at Saks on their second floor in the Dior boutique up there. They sell this. So this is not totally readily available. So when I was in New York City, I went to Saks, and in the second floor, they have a Christian Dior boutique. So I was able to go and smell this beautiful line. A bunch of the fragrances that I kind of fell in love with. So I will be collecting these slowly but surely. But I picked up the infamous Feb Delicious. And you guys, this one is a potent, gourmand, tonka fragrance. There is a lot going on in this fragrance, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So you guys, it's going to be a tonka bean fragrance, but it's going to have cherries, vanilla, praline, lavender, caramel, benzoin. I mean, there is a lot going on in this, and it has a kind of powdery dry down. Oh my gosh, so I had a sample of this and I just literally kind of fell in love with it. Now, I personally love this fragrance, but it has a lot going on in it. So this is one that I definitely say do not blind buy. You need to try a sample. There's something really unique and special about it. It is a bit powdery. It is potent, but you guys, it drays down to the most gorgeous scent. This is a huge compliment getter. Anytime I wore this, this was one where people have actually stopped me and said, oh my gosh, what are you wearing? It is just a super gorgeous gourmand fragrance, and I am so in love that I have this in my collection. Now, I do have a couple other ones that I have fallen in love with. Dior Gris Dior. You guys, I'll do another video on this, but this one I've fallen in love with as well. And there's some other ones that are in that line that I just think are amazing. So we will continue on. Okay, you guys, those are my current favorite niche fragrances at the moment that I've been rotating in during the sort of fall winter season. As always, I tell people to sample these fragrances before purchasing, and one place that I love to buy samples from is Lucky Scent. Lucky Scent has pretty much all of those, and again, you guys, I always love to hear what your favorite fragrances are. If they don't have to be niche, I just am a lover of fragrance. I think it's fun, and I just always continue to learn something new as I dive into that. So again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.